On April 20th, 2002, Brian Six managed to win the Central Stadium Challenge with his Dark Muck list, defeating Tom Dolezal's Feraligatr deck. This marked the first Senior Division win where Feraligatr did not take first place since its release. In addition, in the Junior Division, a Steelix Umbreon deck would take first, with Feraligatr knocked all the way down to 4th, behind 2 Crobat decks. The Pokémon TCG took the world by storm in 1996 when it was first published in Japan. Since then, it has become a worldwide phenomenon. Join us as we explore the forgotten history of the Pokémon TCG. Each episode, we will examine a different historic format and uncover the hidden evolution of the game. This is the history of the Pokémon TCG. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next exciting installment of the history of the Pokemon trading card game. This week we have another curated match for you to enjoy. We will be replaying the first and second place match at the 2002 Central Stadium Challenge. I will be piloting the second place Feraligatr build, while James will play the first place Dark Muck brew. I'm not super confident in this match, especially considering how well Dark Muck stacks up against Feraligatr. But I think I should be able to handle it if I get pretty lucky. We actually couldn't find Tom Dolezal's list from this event, so I decided to pull up Drew Holton's list from the East Coast Stadium Challenge, where he also came second at. It's a very heads-up list, and I think it's pretty good because it adds in Suicune and Pichu for me to swap into. Though I will note, James has had trouble with Suicune in the past. I think Suicune will be fairly helpful here because of its weakness to electric, not grass, which means I won't be taking double damage, and I can institute some level of control into the battle. The plan is to lock down James's Muck. It is a nice added bonus as well that Suicune at most 2 hits all of James's Pokemon. Pichu also allows me to hit all Dark Mucks in play for 20 HP, which is a third of their health. Unfortunately, if I switch from Pichu into Suicune, I cannot 2-hit a Muck since Suicune only hits for 30 HP, but at least I'm able to get a hefty chunk on it. All in all, I think I should be able to make this a challenge for James, but we will have to see. I'm going to quickly talk about the deck and how it's going to relate to this matchup since we've seen a lot of these cards already. So as you can see, a lot of stuff that we've seen before. Feraligatr, Croconaw, Totodile, Cleffa, pretty standard. Suicune as well, I kind of mentioned just now that it's really good to kind of control, stall out James a little bit because it's not necessarily weak to it, and it can 2-shot any of James's Pokemon while also controlling what it is that they do, depending on the coin flips. Pichu also is a really good Pokemon that can wall up and deal 20 damage to every Dark Muck that he has in play. One card I do want to highlight is going to be down here. Well, 2 cards really. It's the Rocket's Training Gym and Narrow Gym. Now, James will want to get Rocket's Hideout in the stadium slot as soon as possible. If I'm able to knock it out with Rocket's Training Gym or Narrow Gym, that immediately takes off 20 HP. And if I can do that combined with Pichu, where let's say that they're 20 HP away from being KO'd, but they have Rocket's Hideout in play, I can just go ahead and put one of my stadium cards in and wipe them without even attacking, then follow up with whatever attack I want to do. I mean, retreat costs a 0, so I can always swap into a Feraligatr or something like that. I really like playing around these baby Pokemon for me. Really annoying when my opponent does it, but I love it when I do it. Aside from that, to keep things fluid, I have a lot of draw power in Misty's Wrath, Secret Mission, and Professor Elm. I also have some flex items in Double Gust. I have the amazing Focus Band that James loves. And then I have a very interesting card in Time Capsule. Time Capsule has the downside of locking me out of other trainer cards, so in a way it's kind of an early supporter, if you will. But it allows them to pick 5 basic Pokemon evolution or energy cards in their discard pile, put it in their deck, and then I can do the same, which is really good for me when I need to recurse specifically like Feraligatrs, Pichu, Suicunes, things like that, that I don't have a really good way of getting back into my deck. I don't really want to do that for water energies unless for whatever reason I somehow end up with no water energies and all my trash exchanges are gone. But primarily this will be to get, like, let's say Pichu gets knocked out, this will be to get Pichu back in, and that's kind of the idea, is I want to be kind of playing around this one-of I have here. I'm very excited to be able to use this, and I think it'll be fairly strong and fairly, frankly, annoying for James to deal with. So, with that said, let's get straight into the battle.
Oh boy, okay, I'm so ready to take Patrick down with this deck. This is a clean and efficient deck that does everything that I want it to do, and It's right up my alley. I've got draw power. I've got control, damage, poison. Poison is very important to me. And honestly, if history's anything to go by, I don't think Pat stands a chance, even though he's playing for Alligator. So let me break down just exactly what this deck does, and what the core of this deck is. So Dark Muck is a 60 HP beast of a control Pokemon. First, it's Pokemon power. Sticky Goo makes it to where an opponent pays 2 more energy to retreat their Pokemon, which means baby Pokemon are locked in, no more free retreating. Not only that, but the Pokemon is poisoned, which is kind of the whole gimmick, you know. Sludge Punch doesn't do much damage, 20, but it locks your opponent's Pokemon in while they're poisoned, so they can't retreat out and get the free heal. But, speaking of baby Pokemon, Sludge Punch is a guaranteed one-shot if it gets through the baby rule, because it's 20 HP in damage, and then, during Pokemon Checkup, does 10 more from the poison, boom, knocked out. Also, it's a great matchup for Alligator since it's faster, being a stage 1 and only requiring 2 energy for its attack, and it does double damage to the Gator since the Gator is weak to Grass type, two-shotting it relatively easily with the poison damage. In addition, my Murkrow can lock in Cleffa early and stop Patrick from getting a fast setup and then switching on in. Now, I've got so much control on the board that the only way that Patrick gets to play for Alligator is if he asks me really, really nicely. Or if I brick, which, if I do, you'll see a game 2 and 3. So, it could happen. Now, finally, the last interesting thing about this deck is Pichu. And Zap attacks 20 damage to each Pokemon in play that has a Pokemon power, not applying weakness or resistance, which just so happens to mean for Alligator, and honestly, most boss Pokemon in this format, so it makes good sense to play, and it can hit for Alligator on the bench for 20 damage. Overall, I think it's a clean, strong deck. This deck really, if we look at the trainers, for any of you modern Pokemon players wondering why the supporter rule exists, this is why. Erica, if I have 4 Ericas, congrats, I get to draw 12 cards. Same with Misty's Wrath, I can just play all of them in the same turn. I can Rocket Sneak Attack multiple times. I can Nightly Garbage Run. Imposter Oak's Revenge, just absolutely insane. I get to, if I have an Oak's Revenge in hand and multiple Ericas, I essentially, especially if it's on turn 1, and say I go first, I place my energy, I somehow have 4 Ericas. I draw 12 cards, Patrick drops 12 cards, because he also gets the opportunity to draw up to 3 cards. And then I just Imposter Oak's Revenge. I rep not only the 12 cards that he drew, but also any additional cards that are already in his hand. It's absolutely devastating opening, and honestly, if I open up with that, it's just GG for Patrick. I have such insane card advantage at that point. And this deck can do that because it doesn't need that many Pokemon. You know, you notice most decks are running 3 or 4 Cleffas. This deck is only running 1. I've got 8 Pokemon in my core because it's only a stage 1, whereas Patrick would have anywhere between 9 and 12, depending on whether he's running 3 or 4 copies of the Feraligatr line. So it opens up more room. All these powerful trainer cards. Now, granted, Feraligatr can still one-shot Dark Muck even with Rocket's Hideout out there, but the goal is to not allow Patrick to even get Feraligatr set up in the first place. If he does, something has gone terribly wrong. So let's hope that things, just like in history, go terribly right, and I can continue to have a winning record against Patrick. See you guys in the battle.
All right, James, how's it going? You ready to face Feraligatr once again?
You know, at the time of recording, the previous night we had done Pokemon Progression. I made a comment about how nice, because we took a little break from this. Things got busy at work, and I was like, yeah, it's so nice not to play against Feraligatr for the 17th match in a row.
And we're back.
So anyway, we're here to play against Feraligatr for, I think, what is like the 6th episode?
Feraligatr is basically ubiquitous in the format. It will be getting cycled out here soon, but we still have probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes that will have it in the format. So, also, by the way, I will let you know.
No, you're taking a mulligan. That's rough.
I did have to take a mulligan. For the viewers, we as we've discussed previously, we do a little progression with our wives, and We're currently just starting EX format, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure
So-
Yelena has won both weeks, hasn't she? She's been since EX started.
I think so. That would be James's wife.
Yeah, I know
okay.
she won last night because she was playing the most goated deck.
Of course. So I'm gonna go ahead and eke right off the bat here.
Yeah,
to
that
refresh my hand and pass it over to you.
that tracks. Let's put an energy on to Grimer. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't need to see Grimer. My mouse does a weird thing now. The mouse is like 8 years old. When I left click, sometimes it will double click.
Yep.
Yeah, it can be a real problem depending on what game I'm playing.
So, do you want to hear a fun fact about this Grimer card?
I do want to hear a fun fact about this Grimer card.
So, the eagle-eyed viewer may be able to see this, that Grimer's eyes are looking up from where he is in kind of the sewers or whatever. So this got censored when it got brought over to America. I will send you a picture of what it looks like now.
I'm very curious.
They changed it so that the eyes are no longer looking up. They're just looking straight, like, at you, basically.
Oh,
at the person with the
okay.
picture. So it didn't look like the Grimer's looking up the skirt of the girl walking by.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
So-
my poison gas does not get through the baby roll, by the way.
No, it did not. So we'll put an energy on Totodile here. I'll go ahead and Misty's Wrath.
Yep.
So I get to select 2 cards. I'll select a Professor Elm and a Focus Band. I will put a Focus Band on... Put it on Cleffa for now. Well, Professor Elm. Ooh. We'll put down Kid.
Now to think about it, I'm totally fine with Feraligatr. What I don't miss is the baby roll focus band meta.
Really? We'll go ahead and eke and reshuffle again. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's Pichu.
Pichu, Dark Mug, Energy. Now let's just put that on EXP all on Pichu. Well, Professor Elm. Nice, nice. I like that. Can't use any more trainers, so we'll just try to get through the baby rule. And of course, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm just gonna sit here and bash my head against the baby rule.
So I'll put an energy on Totodile, I'll put a focus band on Totodile. We'll go ahead and Misty's Wrath as well. You can select 2 cards. I'll grab Elm, and do I grab this one or do I grab another one of these? I feel like this. Ooh, actually, this one might be better. Because I kind of want to keep cycling that. We'll grab this one. We will play the Narrow Gem, so we'll get rid of your Rocket's hideout.
That's rude, sir.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. We'll Misty's Wrath again. Oh, thank God, there it is. And we'll grab those 2.
Finally got. Did you finally get Crocodile or something?
Yeah, I finally got Crocodile. That was what I was waiting on. So we will do that, and I think what we'll do here is we will just play full punch and go for the coin flip. Let's go!
Of course, you're gonna hit with the coin flip.
Of course, naturally.
We'll put a focus band. We'll put a darkness energy on the Dark Muck.
Yep. Okay.
Let's Erica here and draw 3.
Okay.
Wow.
I will also draw 3. Thank you.
I would pull that. It's kind of risky. But let's see, you got 9 cards in your hand. I'm really not seeing what I want to see here.
Yeah. You seem to be in a tough spot right now, James.
Well, it's because I failed 2 coin flips against this Cleffa.
That's true. I was actually hoping my Pichu was going to stall you out, but Cleffa's doing it, so I'm cool with it.
The Cleffa is just such a good opener. The ability to just dump
great.
your entire hand on the field and refresh it every single turn while having a 50% chance of to be immune to an attack is absolutely insane.
I mean, it's been replaced basically by Dunsparce in the EX format once you get to there. As the, like, premier opener. And even that's not as good as just refreshing your entire hand for no reason.
I was gonna say,
especially when there's no supporters. So you can just play all of them. Wow, Rocket Sneak Attack.
Get out of there.
Alright, so you saw my whole hand, though.
Yeah, and, yeah, let's get Elm out of there, too.
Okay, that's fine. Of course you will. That shuffles into my deck, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
shuffles
it
into your
does.
deck.
Okay.
We'll just Elm ourselves. Still not seeing what I actually need here. Please, get through.
Oh my god. Okay. So I'll put this on Crocodile there. Let's see here. We will evolve, and I will go for a playful punch here. Of course, I hit the heads. I KO him next turn.
I don't have words, dude. I just Erica.
I'll take the draws, I guess. Hey, there you go. That's a card.
I just
I kind of just can sit behind Cleffa and just keep on using Elecate. It's like super safe.
Double Gust.
Never mind, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Fraligator's out here.
Let's go back into Dark Muck here.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Let's get another Pichu down. Let's just really, really lay into this Dark Muck.
It's a lot of damage that you're going to be doing to me.
You have 9 cards in your hand?
I think so, yeah. It looks like it.
Huh.
Imposter Oak's Revenge.
Try again.
No! Well, okay. I'm going to have... that's fine.
That's fine.
That's alright.
Let's Elm ourselves.
Sure. Okay.
Well, you don't do me.
The amount of hand attack and crap that you've done to me is crazy.
I know.
And I feel like it hasn't really done very much.
Well, that's because yeah. Sorry. Spazzing out here.
I see that. Okay. So we will go ahead and double gust here.
Of course. Yeah, let's bring in Suicune. I don't need to see for Alligator. Dang double click.
Let's see. What do I want? I want this Pichu. Let's go with this Pichu. Go ahead and put an energy on Suicune here. Start building up the Suicune. Well, Elm. Oh, hey, there you go. Let's secret mission. What do you... Oh, no, I can't do that because
you elmed.
Okay.
Ha!
Yeah,
ha.
I elmed.
Read your cards.
All right. We'll playful punch. Oh, 3 for 3. Let's go.
Erica.
Okay. Yeah,
I have 4 Muck and 4 Grimer. I have seen 1 Muck and 1 Grimer despite digging through 2/3 of my deck. This is
going well, James.
Bite me. Just bite me. Yeah, we'll get that out there so I don't instantly die to Elekid, I guess. Yeah, we'll hold on to that. What do you got in your hand?
I got a lot of stuff in my hand, James.
You do have a lot of stuff. The Rocket's training gym doesn't really help you, does it?
Not really, but it just gets rid of your Rocket's hideout, so...
That's true.
You know, that's I'm cool with that.
Yeah, get rid of the secret mission.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, now that I know that you have that in your hand, that actually begs a lot of questions. Alright, well, Misty's Wrath here. I don't need to see Misty's Wrath. 3 times!
Misty's Wrath for another Misty's Wrath.
Facts.
I'm gonna pot of duality for a second pot of duality.
Okay, I found where all the Grimers and Mucks were hiding.
There you go. They were in the sewers, James.
They were, in fact, in the sewers. Put that on Grimer. Yeah, let's get this EXP all onto Pichu. We'll retreat into Muck.
Okay.
Can't remember if Chaos Gym... Does Chaos Gym trigger when you play Stadium card?
I think so.
We'll find out.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to override my own Rockets Gym, knowing that you've got 2 different Stadium cards in your hand, so it's not going to do me any good anyway. And then we'll just Sludge Punch.
Alright, yep, that'll work. That'll do.
Wait, why are you not... Oh, because you're freaking Crystal Body.
Yeah, he doesn't...
I forgot about that.
What do I do here, James? We'll
you can
capsule.
FF.
Okay, you can time capsule.
What does this do? Your opponent may choose 5 basic...
You can pick up basically 5 Pokemon from your discard pile.
You can't play trainer cards until the end of your opponent's next turn.
I wonder how that works if you take the effect of it.
Well, I don't really want it, so I'm going to skip it.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't need you doing things, doing whatever from your discard pile.
Right. Okay, we'll try to Professor Elm here.
Nope.
Okay, would you like to Professor Elm?
I would love to Professor Elm. I hit skip selection. Dang it. That was a misplay. That was a misplay.
How do you do this? How do you keep doing this, James? Okay, well then, I mean, the only play at my disposal right now is to Playful Punch. So we're gonna go for it.
No. Thank God.
I missed.
For once. Finally.
Yeah.
All right, I've got another Dark Muck in the wings ready to go. We'll Sludge Punch for the KO. Bring him for Alligator and finish me off.
6 of these are... Okay. Okay. Well.
Nope.
Just gets discarded. I'm gonna Secret Mission. Wow, I haven't been able to hit any of these.
You really have not.
That's crazy.
Discard as many and draw that many? Well, thinking about what is in... I've got 14 cards left in my deck.
Right.
I'm just gonna skip selection here.
Okay. We'll find out. Oh, okay, I could have just done that the whole time.
I'm totally okay with Chaos Gym blanking a billion of your trainers, though.
It happens. It happens. We'll Playful Punch. Come on.
No.
Let's go. Let's go. It doesn't apply the it doesn't apply the focus band that was attached because it's an ability. By your opponent's attack, flip a coin.
What?
I can't wait to see your face when I edit this. Elekid MVP, dude.
Elekid is the only Pokemon in your deck that's done anything so far.
I mean, Pichu sat there.
Yeah, we're gonna
as
override that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Well, Erica here.
Yep, we'll draw my 3.
Naturally.
Of course, that's what that. Of course, that's the 3 that I draw, right?
What did you draw?
Don't worry about what I drew.
Let's Double Gust.
All right. Which one do I bring in to let you kill my Alligator with?
That's the real question.
Right.
And Sludge Punch.
Okay, we'll bring in Cleffa.
Found another Grimer.
There you go. There you go. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, so
hides behind Cleffa and Playful Punches for the remaining.
Pretty much. That's kind of the strategy. Yeah, we will Playful Punch.
Called it.
Yeah, I missed. Damn it. Okay. That may cost me the game, James, but it's fine.
God, I can only hope.
After the joy that was the start of this. And then me just tossing trainer cards into the trash.
I cannot hit this Cleffa to save my life!
Okay. So that's... Let's see.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
One,
it's fine. I somehow managed to hit the Death Spider enough. Turn on the computer.
There you go. We'll place that down. And we will... Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. I think we just go for Playful Punch still.
Yep. Fail. Nah, yep, that tracks.
Let's go. Let's go.
That tracks. Sludge Punch. Oh my god, I finally got through.
Of course you do.
Don't you, of course you do me. You're gonna one-shot me for Alligator.
No. Let's see. 1, 2,
my man's
3,
got a
4,
billion
5,
water energy
6,
in his
7,
deck.
8, 9,
I was
10.
I was one turn away from decking you out.
I know. Hey, we're gonna get rid of your stadium card too, just for fun. We will Downpour, and we'll discard a water energy just to make sure we're safe. And we'll Riptide. Oh, Focus Band.
150 damage on the Dark Muck.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Didn't lose any energy though.
Hey, that's good. That's good. But now you're close to decking out.
You know what?
You could have used Time Capsule. That would have saved you.
Well, at the time, I had like a 10 card advantage on you, so.
Okay. This immediately tables turned. Immediately.
You're gonna Elm.
Uh-oh. You're 5. That's a 5-turn clock there, James.
Shush. We're gonna Nightly Garbage run. I can't do that until next turn, dang it.
There you go.
Zap.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna double gust. What would you like to bring in?
Totodile.
I think I'll bring in this Grimer.
No, you leave the Grimer alone. The Grimer's done nothing to you.
Put an energy on Totodile here. So, unfortunately, I've made a critical error.
You think?
Nah, it's okay. We'll do that. We'll shuffle my deck around. Okay, so we still have one. That's good. We'll shuffle our deck around here. Let's see. There's a chance. How many... You've got 4 Dark Mucks, yeah?
I'm not saying. You built the list.
3 in here. So you could be... There's 1 Dark Muck remaining. You have a hand of 7. So there's a 50-50 shot it's in your hand. But if it's in your hand, why didn't you evolve it last turn? So it's got to be in your prize cards or in your deck. Which means that there's... Of the next draw, there's a 1 out of 8 chance that it's Dark Muck. If it's Dark Muck, I'm in trouble. If it's not Dark Muck, I just straight up win on your next draw. So I think this is just what I do, is I will go for Playful Punch.
Yeah, of course you get in. Why wouldn't you get in?
Why wouldn't I? Come on. Nightly Garbage Run, okay.
Yep.
So I'm guessing you would have Windmill Slammed that Dark Muck if it was Dark Muck, so I gotta imagine that you didn't draw it.
You know, I can neither confirm nor deny that.
That's okay. Ah, look at all the Dark Mucks! Okay.
There's an intention.
I figured you got to draw a card of some kind.
I unfortunately don't, actually.
Okay, then you have some way of getting the Dark Mucks. You've got, do you have the boss's way or something?
Nope, let's sticky hand. Of course I get tails. I always get tails.
What does that do? Okay, we're gonna secret mission. What the hell do you have in your hand? Oh, you have a Murkrow? This deck runs Murkrow? I guess that makes sense because the dark energy, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I dumped it all onto the first Dark Muck trying to kill your Feraligatr quickly.
Fair enough.
And I ended up dealing with a freaking Cleffa, or
yeah, we'll just skip the selection. Okay, we'll put it on Totodile. We'll retreat into Feraligatr.
Also, can we discuss how random of an effect this is? Look at your opponent's hand. It has nothing to do with the rest of the card. It's just, you know what?
No.
Absolute hand knowledge for free.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. You get hand knowledge for free. Why not, right? Like, amazing. Okay, so we will go for the Riptide here. Oh my gosh, and you lived. Okay.
I did live.
So this will apply some pressure to me, which is going to be a little bit tough. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, because all you're going to do is poison me. Oh, no, there's another Grimer. Okay.
And another Grimer! And we'll Sludge Punch.
Right. Okay. So we'll put this on Pichu here. And the intention that I'm probably going to get this guy knocked out. So we'll...
Hang on, I just want to point out, your Feraligatr currently costs 6 energy to retreat.
He does cost 6 energy to retreat.
I just find that amusing, that's all.
I have no water energies in my grave, unfortunately, or my discard pile, so I guess I just get to do 10 damage to you and then die next turn.
More or less.
Pretty much. That focus band was rough.
Hey, I gotta flip heads occasionally, right?
I guess, right? Put it on him. Okay, so there's a chance. Alright, so do I go for the Playful Punch where I KO your guy on a coin flip, or do I go for Zap where I KO your guy on a coin flip? I think I go for Playful Punch where I KO your guy on a coin flip. Alright, never mind.
Alright, another Dark Muck. Yeah, no, for sure. Let's just attack. And I get through the baby rule!
Oh, okay. I think I'm cooked at this point.
I think you're cooked.
I think we're cooked, chat. Alright, Playful Punch. Let's go. Ah, haha.
You got through. You got through.
I did, in fact, get through. That's insane. Now I'm just going to draw a whole bunch of water energy.
Let's put that on there. Let Double Gust.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely cooked at this point.
Yep, because I just zapped, knocked out your
Yeah.
Elekid, and I win.
It was close. I think it was very back and forth. It was very back and forth. I think I made one critical blunder, but I was definitely on the back foot from the start, so...
Well, it's almost like this deck is designed to basically just counter for Alligator.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't bring in a Pichu earlier, but I'm guessing you had energy troubles. So...
I mean, it's not that I had energy troubles, it's just that if I can get Dark Muck set up early and get attacking, because, I mean, even the Zap attack still needs to go through the Cleffa's Baby Rule coin flip before it goes off, so... And plus, it does 20 damage to my Dark Muck, which I had literally on turn 2, so...
Right, that's
wasn't
true.
advantageous.
The self damage is pretty rough.
Yeah.
Self damage is pretty rough. But I mean, this was a very back and forth, very even match for Alligator.
Surprisingly.
So I think it's a good example. I think this and the Crobat deck are great examples of where when you have one type that's completely dominating, the type that directly counters it immediately rises up and just starts walloping it. But you don't see like a third order effect or whatever, where like whatever this is weak to will then also get strong, because Totodile or Frogger will just kill that.
I would say that's
so
if you know Dark.
You have
Grass
meta
wasn't
and
weak to
anti-meta.
fire specifically, then
Dark Muck's weak to Psychic.
Right, but Crobat was Crobat weak to anything?
I think Crobat was weak to Psychic as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, in that case,
sure.
yeah, you would think that there would be a Psychic deck rising up, but I mean, in this era, because we lose the promo Mewtwo that was really good for Psychic, we don't have Alakazam from base, so I mean, what good Psychic deck was there in this? I mean,
there's the Espeon
Gengar
deck. There's Dark Gengar, there's the Espeon deck, there's the callback shenanigans, but like none of them are like
Dark Gengar
really
is
crazy.
too low damage.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just looking at it, Alakazam. You get Alakazam in the next set next episode we're gonna talk about.
Oh, because Legendary Collection comes out.
There. That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some stuff, but there really isn't anything that's like stand out per se. But I think it's more so just for Alligator is just so oppressive that if you don't do double damage to it, you can't beat it. Like that's basically how it goes.
Yeah.
Anything else that's neutral, or especially if you're weak, like Typhlosion, I feel like would be much better if Fraligator wasn't in the meta, but because it's weak to Fraligator, I mean, Fraligator needs like 2 energies or whatever in the discard pile to KO it, so it's just way too strong. But yeah, it's just really interesting that you basically just have the meta and the anti-meta, and once Fraligator's gone, like we get to Neo on basically, and I believe it's just the 5. I think there is a format where it's just the 5 sets. I think it's Neo and Legendary Collection basically. You don't see Fraligator at all, because you need Trash Exchange and you need Misty's Wrath. If you don't have either one of those, if you don't have both of those, frankly,
you also lose Secret Mission too, don't you?
You also lose a lot of stuff. You lose a lot of stuff that this deck kind of relies on. So, yeah. I think I got screwed by my own Rockets training gym, and I could have probably won that at that point, but it just is what it is.
There were a series of misplays by both sides, as
yeah,
there usually is.
I'm sure that we never play our decks 100%, and I think it's like nobody really, unless you're like a pro, ever plays like 100%. So, but yeah. So with that, James, thank you for joining me for this most exciting installment of the history of the Pokemon trading card game. Next episode, we will finally be at Legendary Collection, so a lot of your favorites from base set will be back without a whole bunch of the toxic crap. Though, I will say, James, now you can just run the decks. You don't have to worry about the substituting of the cards, so we won't have an issue of you playing illegal cards anymore.
One time, bro. It happened one time. I didn't even win.
Yeah, I know, and you lost.
So, if anything, I was just giving you an advantage.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, I felt bad because I mean we're 17 episodes in, and I'm like, what, like?
I think you're like 12-5.
Yeah, it's not. The record isn't exactly close at this point.
Yeah, and someone in the comments, please put down what the record is for James. I feel like it's really high. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next episode when we go into Legendary Collection.
Have a great week, guys.